Hi, it's Nadia here, and this is a 60-minute Yin Yoga class. I'm really excited to do this today. It's the 2nd of January 2021. Loads of hope that comes in a new year, right? Especially after the year we all just went through together. And yeah, I'm not a new year, new you kind of person, but there is always more work we can do within. So that's what we're doing when we practice yoga. We're studying ourselves in the posture, and we're feeling everything that comes up. And in Yin Yoga, a lot of things will come up physically, especially in the area you're working. And we want to sit with that and feel every single part of it, and almost enjoy the discomfort to the pleasure, and knowing that they're all the same. It's just a feeling and it will pass. Yes, so that's something I hope you can enjoy. It's much more meditative practice, so always good to do this around the full moon. We've just had a quite full-on full moon at the end of the year, so yes, enjoy. Any injuries that you're worried about, I would speak to a doctor or a yoga teacher before you begin. And if you're just needing to support a joint or area, then use loads of cushions and blankets. Okay, enjoy. We're going to start with you seated. So cross legs on your mat. Use a cushion or a block if you've got one. And just take a moment to connect. So connecting to your body and your breath. If you have cross-leg position, just allow the knees to fall towards the earth. Don't worry if they don't. That's the intention or the direction. And then at the same time that you release down with your lower half of the body, feel that lift and elongation of the spine. Crown of the head facing up, and as if someone were lightly pulling you up from the crown. So just drop in to the body and the breath. So notice the points of contact as you connect to the floor. See if you can release any more weight and heaviness into them. And then feeling this length in the spine so you can breathe there fully and deeply. And as you start to breathe, just see if you can keep same length inhalations as exhalations. Samavriti breathing. And then coming to any intention you have for this class, so whatever you feel you would like to receive, be it more energy or just that time to yourself or time to slow down. So even though we'll do far less postures and maybe a different style of yoga, the exact same, if not more, is received. And it's because of the breath and our awareness. So whilst we move, just feel everything you can, even discomfort. So allowing it all to be, not being attached to any particular feeling, whether it's pleasurable or displeasurable. Is that a word? Unpleasurable, displeasurable. I think, yeah. Comments below. Right, so now let's think about moving. We're going to move really, really, really slow. So first just move, open the eyes, allow the light to come back in. You're going to move the cushion away as you come onto hands and knees. So something that feels amazing usually is cat-cow. And the reason is because you can go as light or as deep into this movement. But we're just going to do a little flow in the body. So as you inhale, drop the belly and lift your heart and gaze. And as you exhale, rounding the spine, pressing to the hands, looking to your belly. And then just keep that flowing. Take it as fast or as slow as your breath is. This is just waking up the spine, getting a bit of movement. I would always do this in maybe a winter class, because no matter how warm you may have your room, the body doesn't get as warm in those colder days. So just a little bit of warmth created, especially along the spine, getting that fluid moving. Last one. And then from there, you're going to tuck the toes, lift the hips, come into this very baby down dog. So nice deep bend in the knees, shoulders spread, little bend in the elbows, head relaxed. You can walk the dog if you want to get a little stretch down the back of the legs, but it's not important. We're going to come to the front of your mat for the first Yin Yoga pose that we're going to do. So if you walk the feet slowly forward, eventually they'll come about hip distance, so nice and wide, or wider if you need more support, and then bend your knees. See if you can touch your chest, your thighs. Not everyone will, don't worry if you don't. Head and neck relaxed. I start with the hands on the floor just to feel connection, to feel a little bit more supported. And then if you feel like you've got this in the feet, right, you've got that strength and power of the legs holding you, then you can hold your opposite elbows. And that just adds more weight down. And as you release your weight down, you want to really let go. I think I've explained it once, but you know when you're having a massage and sometimes someone picks up your head and you're still holding on, and then it's really almost awkward movement. It's very jagged. But if you really let go of your head and your neck, it feels amazing. So just practicing that here. So you've got time holding the weight of your body, your upper body will be held by your lower body. So release and trust it. Letting go. I've got my eyes closed just to stay internal. You can start to feel this in the body, in the muscles, in the feet, in the head and the neck. Anytime you want to sigh out, feel free. They're a really nice way of letting go. Maybe help you release a little bit deeper. We've got about 2 or 3 more deep breaths. Amazing. Then release. We're going to roll on up. When you're ready, rolling up. Head, neck, shoulders, knees, all soft and relaxed. As you come up, allow the head finally to straighten. Couple of shoulder rolls. Now the next one, it's not for everybody. For those of you that know Malasana, you're welcome to take it. For anyone that is perhaps a beginner and is worried about your knees, and also if you've been practicing a while but you've got sensitive knees, don't do Malasana, which is our deep yogic squat. Otherwise, you're going to have your feet nice and wide and hold a goddess squat. So this isn't exactly, it's not exactly yin, it's a little bit more yang, but it's a lot safer for the knees. So the knees stay in this 90-degree angle, shins 90 degrees, feet turned out to a 45-degree angle, and hands at the heart in your prayer. Now any time you want to release, and if you sit from the side, you're sat down in this imaginary chair, so your tailbone is facing down and your spine is long and your crown of the head is up to the sky. So that's your version. Anyone going deeper, Malasana, feet are still 45 degrees but much shallower. And as you bend your knees, you allow your tailbone to release down to the earth as you sit in this yogic squat. Anyone that's been to India will know this squat very well. And the elbows are pressing out into the knees or the thighs, and then pressing them open, and also keeping them tracked in line with their toes. So whichever version you're in, it is strong for all of us. We're going to hold for about a minute. Those of you that were in Goddess, you've been there a little longer, so you can come down when you're ready and just sit back down on the floor. You're probably about over halfway now. If you can hold it longer than a minute, then that's great. It's obviously an amazing position for your body. This is great for anyone that spends a lot of time seated. This will combat any of that kind of shortness that happens in the ligaments and tendons. So yeah, enjoy. At some point it gets very strong, and it's whether you can stay with that discomfort as long as it isn't pain. If you ever feel pain in a joint, just release slowly. And to release from here, I would release my hands back. Those of you standing, if you're ready to come down, come down. Hands back. As you sit down onto the bums, straighten your legs and give them a tap up and down. Amazing. So, one thing to do, and especially which is great in January, New Year, like we want to energize and uplift us, ready. We can do this together again. We're going to come into a back bend. So back bends are great for that. So knees underneath your hips, hands under shoulders, lean forward so your shoulders go beyond the wrists, then bend the elbows as you come down to the floor. And from here, if you bring your elbows underneath shoulders, forearms parallel, come straight into your Sphinx pose. If you want to make this gentler, your feet go wider or legs go wider. Your heart comes forward and your shoulders squeeze together. Those of you with a sensitive lower back, I should have showed this first, but you would slide your arms forward, palms together, and take a much gentler version of this. But the same action applies. Pelvis roots down, heart comes forward, or chest opens as your shoulders blades squeeze together. So either of those versions are perfect. Now anyone that loves the back bend and you know it's safe in your body, you can go into the deeper version if you're sure you're safe to. Seal. So you can lift the elbows away. There's still a bend in the elbows. The heart is going forward, opening, and the shoulders are squeezing together. And then just breathe there. If any point you need to come out of this back bend, please do. We're going to just take one more deep breath. And as you exhale, if you had the elbows lifted, release them. Now bring the elbows out to the side, make a pillow. Big toes come together and heels out to the side, and just take rest. And hold there. So the next one is our frog pose. Now for frog, if you could bring your forearm at a right angle, and you're going to bend your right knee. If you can, if there's any pain in the joint, just hold that foot and pull the heel in towards the butt as much as possible. Okay, now if that's too much in the lower back, you could relax the head into the hand and make this all about that quadriceps by bringing that heel in. Now anyone wants to go deeper, you want to bring that heel on the outside of the buttock or hip. So if you can, turn the fingers so it's a little, turn them out to the side, then forward if you can with the elbow going up, and then you can put a little bit more pressure down. Again, if there's pain in the lower back, you can relax the head into the hand and just make this all about the quadriceps, and just hold there. But if it's okay to have a bit of a back bend at the same time, you can be on that forearm. Lots of options. Hold there and breathe. Okay, and then release. Release that foot slowly and leg down again slowly. Make a pillow and just rest. Big toes touch, heels to the side. Take a moment before we move over onto your left leg. So forearm in front of you, parallel to the edge of the mat. Lots of options here. If you're worried about your lower back, keep your head on the hand. You're just using the power of that left hand to press at a right angle, so the elbow bends to a right angle-ish. And if you can go deeper and you want to, you could be lifted, and you're really trying to bring that heel on the outside of that hip and buttock. Makes it a little bit stronger. And then breathe there. This is half frog, so full frog would be to do it with both hands on both feet, but it's much stronger. Keep the breath flowing. Really deep. I always try to imagine I'm sending the breath to the area that is working. And then release that foot, make a pillow, rest the head on that pillow, big toes touch, heels to the side, maybe a little wiggle of your tail from side to side. And then we want to come out of this and into a child's pose, so hands under shoulders. On the inhale, lift up. And on the exhale, press back. So belly in towards spine, lengthen the spine out. So we're going to come into child's pose. For some, child's isn't the most comfortable. If your bum is really far away from the heels, see if a cushion helps and makes it a little bit easier. If you really struggle to get any part of your body down, you can use cushions underneath here, or you could just go back to that crocodile version. But this beautiful pose, if you can come into it, will get a lovely stretch either side of the spine, so it should feel nice. And you can have the arms in front of you, forearms resting, or beside you, reaching back. Might feel good as well. So staying in where's comfortable. If you don't get the forehead on the floor, you can use a cushion or a block. Okay, and then when you're ready to come up, slowly lift. So 2 things we're going to do. Pigeon, so work our outer hip and glute, and then also an internal one with butterfly. With pigeon, those of you that know it, that know you're safe to go into the full or the seated version, will go into right knee forward first and left leg back. If you know that's safe. If you've got any knee injuries or pain, you can try this version. And if this doesn't work, there's always the lying down version. So right leg, so I'll mirror you. Right leg is parallel to your yoga mat at a right angle, right foot flex, and left leg is back. Now, depending on your knee, it will either be in towards the instep of your right foot or back, if that's sometimes a little bit easier to have a right angle in that knee as well. Okay, and then the idea is to bring your hands forward and release down the head and the hands. If that's really far away or feels too much, you can use a cushion. So lots and lots of options. You can use cushions or blocks. But the feeling should be here on this outer right hip and glute. Okay, so otherwise, those of you that can, you'll be in this version. If there's too much pain in either of those, which there shouldn't be, but if you're worried about that seated one, you could always lie on the floor for thread the needle, anyone that knows that one. And we're going to hold this one for at least a couple of minutes, so it really slows down our system. There will be a point where you feel maybe it's the discomfort is too much. If you feel it's pain or you're not sure, then just come out. Otherwise, hold here and see if you can sit with that discomfort. So in the book I'm reading at the moment, the Sanskrit word is virajana or viraja. I can't pronounce this one. But its translation is dispassion or non-attachment. So the idea is when we say not to be attached to the sensation, whether it's pain, whether it's discomfort, or whether it's really pleasant, we're the same. We don't react to either of them. It's given exactly the same attention and awareness, which is just to be there and accept how it is, how it feels, and just breathe. Because the idea is if we can give this non-attachment or feeling, allowing everything as it is in our yoga practice, then we'll do the same in our day-to-day life, which is the aim, right? Making sure both feet or one foot is flexed, depending on which version you're in, the seated version with both knees bent, or this version that I'm showing you. So the right foot is flexed here, and then in the other version, both feet. And that's protecting your lovely knee joints. Let's make this your last breath here. And then come up. So coming up onto the hands, sitting yourself up. Now, if you're in that half version, you can just switch the legs. If you're here, lean to your right, sweep that left leg forward, and then you want to send your right leg back for the same on the other side. If this is your knee that you're worried about, just to show you that variation, left leg at a right angle with a foot flex, and right leg at a right angle with the foot flex as far back as feels comfortable for you. The stretch is always here on this front hip and glute. Use cushions if you need them, and come down onto the forearms or the hands as you breathe. Either of that version is welcome, and we're going to take 2 minutes on this side, so enjoy. Okay, let's make this your last deep breath here. On the inhale, you'll come up onto the hands and sit down onto that side if you're in this full version. If not, we'll just meet sitting on the sit bones. Just taking the time. Okay, perfect. So the next one was our opening the inner thigh and groin area. Now, my knees don't naturally come down to the floor, and that feels okay, but if you feel like you need support for either, if they feel shaky or unstable up, then you can use some cushions. I've only got one today, but usually just prop them up, yeah? Or blocks can be good as well. And with the feet, they're together and away from you so that there's symmetry within the legs, so a diamond shape. Lots of options. Hands can go above, so holding the feet above, or thread through, and then a wrap around the sides. And on the inhale, just take a deep breath in, and on the exhale, fold down. If you've got a cushion as well, if you're almost there, you can rest the head there. We can have a stack of cushions. I'm unprepared with my cushions today, but yeah, it's really good to just play around with what you've got around you. Books can be useful as well. And again, we're going to be here 2 minutes, so a long enough time to really feel this, and I'll leave you in silence for that. Just feel, enjoy, and breathe. And these are the last few breaths in the pose, so hopefully feeling nice and relaxed. Take 2 more breaths. spine, releasing the arms, and removing the cushion to the side for now. We've got one more seated, so just for a moment, hug your knees in. So we've opened them we've opened the knees out wide. Now we're bringing them in together. Head bow down to the knees for a hug. Okay, and then the next one we'll do will be our why have I forgotten? Oh yeah, so the feet will be together and straight with the legs, and we'll go into a very, very gentle forward fold. So for this version, what I'd like you to do is bend your knees and bring your chest towards your thighs. So almost like that hug we were just doing, and then holding the outsides of the feet. Now there's a little bend in the elbows, but obviously a bend in the knees, and the head is just releasing down to the knees. And a light pull of the feet towards you will just get this lovely stretch down the back. But the most important thing is that your chest and your thighs are connected. Some of you with a bit more flexibility can go into the version with the legs maybe even straight if you've got that connection of chest and thighs. So you can release the heels forward as far as you go with that connection. So the head is releasing down to the knees. So yeah, take as much of a bend in the knees. You can't see it there because of the light, but there is a bend in the knees, as much as you need to have that connection to the thighs. And this is our much more yin version of forward fold. And the reason we do this one is because it's amazing for the parasympathetic nervous system. So just the position of the spine and the nerves that go down the spine is what helps us get into this part of our system that's all about relaxation, which is what we're always trying to get into in yin. Yin especially, but mainly yoga really. This is our trying to calm down our system that is constantly, for some of us, on alert, trying to keep us safe, trying to look after us, which is amazing, right? But sometimes it's unnecessary. Take a few more breaths here. Remember to have the knees bent as much as you need to have the connection of chest and thighs. Head and neck is relaxed, so if you make the movement of the neck as different as you need to feel relaxed in the neck. And then we're going to come out of it by slowly unraveling the spine, a little gentle movement up, and then release the shoulders. Now it's time to come down to the floor, so the best bit, right? Floor work. So if you want to use a little bit of core to get you there, then great. If not, just hug the knees, tuck the chin and roll down, and we'll all meet on our backs. On our backs with our knees in. So this is the child's pose that most people should be able to do. If you can hold your shins at some position, that's great. You're in the same position as child's pose, but just flipped upside down. So take a moment to be here and move. Some people like to stay still, just feel that squeezing in of the knees and pressing down in the back. Others might just like rocking from side to side. You can go all the way sometimes if that feels good. Or others you might like these little knee circles, one direction and then the other. Just playing with it to feel different parts of your back press down into the earth. It's like a massage. So really enjoy that self-massage, self-love. Before we go into our supported bridge. Now I don't have a block, but I've got a cushion. So if you've got a block, great, you can use a block on any of the settings, low, medium, high. Or if you've got lots of cushions, you can stack them up. I've got one, so that's going to be me today. So the feet are hip distance, the knees are up to the sky, arms alongside body. You'll first come up into that traditional bridge that we're all used to, Seda Bandhasana, and we're going to rest our sacrum on this cushion, or block, or books, or whatever you've got around you. So for me, I'm nice and low, and you know what? It feels great. It's supported. There's a light energy, and it's so light into the heels, so you're still trying to keep a little bit of activation in the thighs just to make this feel like you're getting something. Otherwise, if you want to just completely relax it, then that's great. It's a light elevation of your hips, so it's ever so slightly an inversion, ever so slightly. If the heart is above the head, so that's always a lovely rest for your heart. So just feel this lovely restful bridge. As I say, if you've got blocks or more cushions, you can stack it up a little higher. The rest, or the cushion, is always resting underneath the sacrum, and it feels good. It should feel good. If it doesn't, just move it slightly forward or back till you find that sweet spot. And then just breathe. Take a couple more deep breaths here. And then releasing. So you're going to slowly press into the heels, lift the hips slightly to remove whatever you had underneath, and then release down slowly. The next one we do, if you bring your feet really wide, so they're mat distance, and then you're going to bring your left ankle above your right knee, because you're going to bring your knees over to the left. And so the left knee, if I show you from the side, the left knee will draw that right knee down to the earth. Now both knees might not touch. Make sure both feet are flexed, and that is to protect the knee joint. It is a light, gentle twist of your body, but that's not the aim. So if you just keep your arms out naturally to the sides and just feel as neutral in your upper body as you can with that light little twist of your hips. And then just breathe there. Any pain in the knees, just make sure those feet are flexed, and if there's still pain, then just come up and out and release. Maybe try the other side. It's not as easy to hold if you don't have support, so cushions can be underneath the knees if you need it. So we wouldn't hold this as long. So coming up when you're ready on the inhalation, guide those knees back up and then feet down as wide as the mat, other side, right ankle above left knee, flexing both feet, take the knees to the right as you gaze to the left. Arms out to the side or at any kind of angle to keep your shoulders and your upper body as neutral as possible. You could also gaze up. Okay, and then when you're ready to release, guide those knees back. Release, give yourself a hug. Okay, so one more thing I want to do physically before we do a little bit of pranayama will be a spinal twist. So if you hold your knees into your chest, reach your arms out to a T, you're going to take a spinal twist to your right, so knees to the right. And then gaze to the left. Any neck pain, just gaze up. You can have any variation with the hands that feel good. And just breathe there, along the left side of your spine. This one should feel good. And then when you're ready, gazing up, bring your knees up and change sides. When you feel neutral, knees over to the left as you gaze over to your right. And then just hold there for the next couple of minutes as we did on that side. And then just when you're ready to come out of that side, bring the knees back up to center. Hugging the knees in, just move in any way you feel you need to move before you come up to a seated position. So we're going to finish with Anuloma Viloma, which is alternate nostril breathing. This is such a really healthy pranayama that anyone can do. We're not going to hold the breath or anything. We're just going to breathe in through one side and breathe out through the other side. If you've got a cold, you won't want to do it, so just leave it out. Just lie down and take a longer Shavasana. And we'll do it for about 3 minutes, and then we can have a nice long relaxation. So those of you that know it, I won't talk about it too much, but first 2 fingers of your right hand into your palm, other 2 fingers together, right thumb blocks your right nostril, other 2 fingers your left nostril, and you alternate the breath. Inhale through left, exhale through right, inhale through right, exhale through left, just like that, simples. And we'll do it, like say, for 3 minutes. So when you're ready, left hand on your left knee, right hand into Vishnu Mudra, first 2 fingers to the palm. Close off your right nostril, close your eyes, and breathe out through the left. Now you're going to breathe in through the left for the first round. Breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Close your left, open your right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now inhale through the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left. 1, 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 2, 3, 4. Close left, exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. 2, 3, 4. Close right, exhale left. 2, 3, 4. Inhale left. 3, 4. Close left, exhale right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. And make this your last round. Inhale left. Close left, exhale right. Inhale right. Close right, exhale left. And then just release your right hand. And as always, after any pranayama, check in. Notice how you feel. Allow the breath to return at a natural, steady rate. You may or may not notice any changes subtly or obviously. Just notice whatever there may be. And then we want to take this state and bring it into your final relaxation. It's cooler here, I don't know about there, so I've got lots of use a blanket or anything to warm up your body. as you lie back down into Shavasana. Now in Shavasana, just make sure you're comfy, so you could lie in any position that's comfy. Really connect back to the weight and the heaviness of your body, just as you did at the beginning. Do the same at the end. Release the heaviness and weight. Surrender, so really feel like letting go. If you need a sigh, take a deep breath in and a deep sigh out, and see if that helps relax any more muscles. And then allow the breath to be natural, without force. We're going to focus on each part of the body, moving from the toes to the crown, in this very beautiful body scan or svadhyaya, self-study. Notice each part of your body, see how it feels, and then move on to the next, without judgment, without control, or trying to change anything. So notice your feet. Notice your feet. Your feet are relaxed. Notice your legs. Notice your legs. Your legs are relaxed. Notice your hips. Notice your hips. Your hips are relaxed. Notice your back. Notice your back. Your back is relaxed. Notice your belly. Notice your belly. And your belly now relaxed. Notice your chest. Notice your chest. Your chest now relaxed. Notice your shoulders. Notice your shoulders. Your shoulders are relaxed. Notice your hands. Notice your hands. Your hands are relaxed. Notice your arms. Notice your arms. Your arms are relaxed. Notice your neck. Notice your neck. Your neck is relaxed. And notice your head. Notice your head. Your head is relaxed. Your whole body now feels completely relaxed. Allow that relaxation to hold you for the next moment, next minute. And then we prepare. Before we do come out of relaxation, we prepare. So the eyes stay closed. We're still feeling that weight in the body, but we feel a little bit more energy as we start to deepen the breath, bringing in fresh prana, fresh oxygen and energy to your body. Make the belly as big as a balloon as it breathes in. And as you exhale, allow the belly to release. 2 more breaths, like that. And on the third, start to wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. And then bringing your feet together, arms overhead for a full yoga, full body stretch. Maybe even turn the head from side to side. And then bend those knees, give yourself a squeeze and a hug. Lying on your back, and then roll onto your right side. And rest there, eyes still closed, staying within, feeling that safe position, that nurturing position. And when you're ready to come out of it, press into your hands to lift you up. And find your seat, the one that we did just not that long ago. Full spine. Bowing down, releasing your tailbone and your seat. And then taking a gesture with the hands together, palms together at the heart, prayer. Take an inhale, sit tall. And exhale, bow down. Coming back to any intention you set for yourself, giving it that energy again. Namaste. And lifting your head and heart, rubbing your hands together. And then cupping over the eyes for that last breath in. As you exhale, releasing the hands down. So, thank you. I hope you enjoyed the class. Any questions, always let me know. Or feedback, always welcome. Okay, see you soon.